Oh my god, she's a weirdo.
Hello, hello. Oh no no, no no no. Hi, hi. Don't bite me. Oh my god, babe, we have to take her.
Hello, 'tis I, Fat Cow. Now, I know. I said I wasn't going to make any more Girl World videos. But, in my defence, I did say that I would come back if something remarkable happened. And I think we can all agree something truly remarkable has indeed happened.
She's very skinny. I don't know if we can afford another cat.
Oh my, look at that sick kitten. Oh, it's obviously on the brink of death. I mean, it's groomed, it's clean, it's struggling, which means it's got energy. It's definitely not lethargic. Its eyes are bright, its ears are up, and, well, as we can see, it's full of energy, it's running around, there's no limping, there's no discharge of the eyes. I mean, obviously, this kitten's life is in mortal danger. What are we to do? Who is going to save it? I wonder, who has the ego and the hero complex to do such a thing? Additionally, isn't it ever so slightly suspicious that, like all of this particular individual's previous and current cats, this kitten also happens to be of the long-haired variety? I don't know if we can afford another cat. Hint, hint, viewers. Gosh, this dying kitten who can only be saved by me. I mean, he's obviously dying. I mean, look, he's grooming himself, and everybody knows that kittens and cats only groom themselves when they are chronically unhappy and chronically ill, and that grooming is not an indication of a happy cat at all. No. Anyway, viewers, I don't know if I can afford another cat. Oh my, whatever shall I do?
Wanda, for the kitty, 50 US. Oh.
At this stage, despite a donation, Foodie hasn't technically asked for a donation yet. But somehow, by, subliminally planting the idea in the mind of her beezers, she's definitely got the ball rolling.
Thank you so much, Wanda. If we take her, will you guys help us? Like, for real?
So this is the point where I'm going to explain the situation and the repercussions before I get on to what I actually want to talk about. Now, the cat in itself is, excuse the pun, the catalyst for this situation, because at the end of the day, the cat actually isn't important. What's important is Foodie then proceeds to suggest strongly, one might say actually ask, for private donations to be sent to her private PayPal to pay for the cat. Now the thing is, Kuwait has a law against asking for donations, whether for yourself or for somebody else. You have to have a license, and donations, say for a charity for pets, let's say, don't go directly to the charity. Donations would go to a bill, so it would go directly to pay a bill, not via the charity, but to the vet or the pharmacist directly. So let me say that again. Say you're a pet charity asking for donations. Well, that is not allowed in Kuwait. What you can do is say, this is the bill for this particular cat, and the person wishing to give money for that particular cat pays the bill directly to the institution where the bill was occurred, the doctor, the pharmacist, where the bill was raised. It doesn't go to the charity, it goes to the person who performed the services that were billed. It doesn't matter what your intention was when you asked for donations. You asked for the donations to be sent directly to yourself, and that was against the law.
So, what do you think, babe? No?
What if she, Julia fights her or something?
I don't think Julie would fight her. She was raised in a house with cats. Thank you, Wanda. Yes, I will help. Because honestly, like, we have to... $50, thank you. That would cover the vet visit. We will help. Because she probably has a mom, but the mom, like, the cat feels starving. Like, she feels hungry. I don't know what she would eat. Oh, you're my baby girl. Are you our new baby? This could be a community beezer. Isn't she sweet?
Yeah.
My second point, just for argument's sake, was you took the cat to a veterinary pharmacist. Now, a veterinary pharmacist is, you're going to believe this sounds hysterical, it's completely unbelievable what I'm about to say. A veterinary pharmacist is a pharmacist who has a license to distribute medicine for animals. They're not licensed to diagnose animals or to treat ailments in animals that haven't been previously diagnosed by a veterinarian. They're not allowed to, they're not qualified to. They can dispense medication and they can give medication advice for over-the-counter medication. They fill prescriptions written by vets or can give over-the-counter medication. Now, I suspect, as with human pharmacists, I don't mean pharmacists who are human, but pharmacists who can prescribe medication to human beings in Kuwait, veterinarians can probably give more than just regular over-the-counter medications and can prescribe other things without prescription, such as antibiotics. The person you sent the cat to for medical treatment is not only not qualified to diagnose a pet for ailments beyond obvious flea infestation, mite infestation, that kind of thing, but is also not allowed to diagnose your pet. Now, Paws Kuwait is not suing you. Paws Kuwait, who has a license with the Kuwaiti government to elicit donations for animals in the way that I previously described, also has an obligation to the government to report people asking for donations fraudulently, which is what you did. They're not suing you. They are fulfilling their contractual with the government obligation of reporting fraud. So much the same way as you would go to the police to report a crime, Pause Kuwait has gone to the government and reported your crime, for which they will receive in return a case number, which is what they are going to publish today to the general public. They've also supplied evidence of you committing the crime, which is you asking for donations for the cat, we know, to be paid directly to your personal PayPal, which is against the law, regardless of intentions. You have been filed with a criminal case by Pause Kuwait, as they are obligated to by the government when they became a charity that was qualified and certified to collect donations. Do you understand that? You have had a case filed against you for committing a crime. It is a criminal case. Pause Kuwait aren't suing you. They are merely reporting the crime you committed. Now, foodie, the second that criminal case was filed against you, you will be flagged at all points of exit within the country of Kuwait, and you will be unable to leave. You will be required to stay in the country until a verdict is reached and your punishment dealt. Your punishment probably being deportation and not being allowed to return to the country of Kuwait for between 5 and 10 years minimum. Additionally, while being detained, let's call it, your current tourist visa will expire. For every day you remain in the country, even though you have no choice, you will be charged 10 Kuwaiti dinars. You will not be allowed to leave the country, whether being deported or not, unless you pay the money you own for every day you stay in Kuwait beyond your current visa, which means you will probably not only get deported for the crime you've committed and actually be fined for the crime that you've committed, which I think is about 3,000 Kuwaiti dinar, you will also have to pay 10 Kuwaiti dollars for every day you stayed beyond your visa, even though it was not voluntary. So that is a shitload of money. And while we're at it, while the necessary authorities look into this criminal case, they'll probably look at your visa status, because obviously they want to know if you have a civil ID or residency, to which they will probably find that you haven't, and will see the amount of times you've applied for a tourist visa, the amount of times you have exited and re-entered the country, and, things of that nature. Now this, I would imagine, would raise a monumentally huge red flag. We're talking about a flag the size of a fucking football pitch. And so they will check your marital status. This is where it gets really, really, really messy. As if you don't consider this messy already. Because if, I say if, but you know, they find you're not legally married, or at best, at least, have a misère marriage, which incidentally goes through the court anyway, you and your husband would have committed the crime of public indecency. The public indecency of cohabitation, which, incidentally, also results in your deportation and your husband being put in prison for 7 effing years. Should Salah be indicated in the current criminal case of asking for donations, he will probably be deported back to Syria. And then, as a result of being deported back to Syria, he will have to go into the military because it's mandatory. It's called conscription. Should he go to jail first for 7 years and then get deported to Syria, which will happen, he will have to go into the military because it's mandatory. You, foodie, have screwed Salah monumentally. Basically, you have made him bend over, pull his pants down, and you have shafted him deeply, repetitively. Basically, Salah, thanks to foodie, you are fucked. And not in the good way. If you have somehow managed to flee the country, which I personally think is unlikely, because in order to flee, you need the money to buy a ticket, which you don't have, and secondly, you're hardly fleet of foot, are you? You can't just jump on a plane, can you? Because your health and your immobility do not felicitate. Your health and your general well-being do not, exactly smooth the way for running away. You can't flee, you can barely waddle. I can't think of a word to describe how you would preamble yourself away from this situation. And now, my actual point of this video. In your last live, when you found out what Paws was doing, you had a little bit of a meltdown, shall we call it, for which you said the following things. I'm done. I can't live this way. I seriously need to get out of here. I'm tired of holding in how I feel. I'm tired of being silenced. I need to leave here so I can speak my mind. I need to get the hell out of here. Now, you said that after Salah told you to, basically shut the fuck up. You weren't talking about the situation at hand. You were talking about Salah. You are tired of Salah telling you to shut up. Salah is messaging me right now. The best thing is to stop messaging me because you're making me mad too. I'm tired of holding in how I feel. I'm tired of being silenced. I need to leave here so I can speak my mind, okay? I need to get the hell out of here. So you're threatening Salah. You're telling Salah, if you don't stop telling me to shut up for my own good and for the sake of all the repercussions I have brought down upon myself and Salah and probably his family, I'm going to leave. Salah, if you keep telling me to do things that are in my best interest, I will leave. Emotional blackmail much, Foodie? Really? The best thing you could do is leave. Seriously, for Salah and his family, the best thing you could do is leave. Let us continue. Exactly. Bye. Don't talk to me. Salah, it's done. I'm leaving. I'm done. Sorry, I can't silence myself. Like, I'm done. I'm done with this whole situation. The whole situation you're currently talking about is your marriage. Well, marriage. Your situation type like deal. Salah has been trying to get you to do what's best for you, be it food, exercise or shutting the fuck up, and you don't like it, so you're threatening to fuck off, aren't you? Wow. That is seriously the most romantic thing I've ever heard. The lengths you'll go to for your husband, your love, your soulmate. Like you don't know what it's like holding in things. Yes, we do. We all do. What we don't know what it's like is living with a veritable shit show, manipulative, pertinent, whatever, pugnacious, revolting, disgusting, narcissistic. See, look, now I'm pulling the disgusted yuck face. We don't know what it's like to live with a person like you, and thank God for that. They listen to haters. I think they include Salah, don't they? That's why they're insane. I think the word you want is magnuna. Yeah, it's my favourite Arabic word, magnuna. It means insane. You do this hand movement while you say it as well. Magnuna. I can't do it. I need to leave. I need to go home. Salah isn't sticking up for me. I fucked up royally. I could actually get Salah deported and then he'll have to do military service. Or I could actually get Salah, arrested. And I could really tarnish the reputation of his father, who works for the fucking government. But Salah won't back me up, despite the fact I've made him look like an absolute fucking idiot. How dare he? How very dare he? I'm not even allowed to ask for donations to go home. No, you're not, because it's against the fucking law. But you're saying that Salah isn't allowing you to ask. Salah's not allowing you to ask because that would be providing more evidence for an already shitty situation. And finally, saying that you don't feel safe telling us about everything that goes on with regards to Salah and your marriage is such a pathetically obvious and performative thing to do. Salah telling you no, Salah trying to steer you in the right direction, Salah putting his foot down is not abusive, which is what you're suggesting. You're suggesting your marriage is abusive, which is you setting up for a future where you have to go so that you can change the narrative about this whole situation to benefit yourself. You are borderline evil, Foodie, and the only reason you haven't committed murder it's because you're fucking immobile and too physically unfit to do the act. Additionally, your denial over the criminal case that's being filed against you just proves how lacking in emotional intelligence, cognitive presence, critical thinking, intelligence in general you have, and how completely up your own arse you are in terms of ego. You are not untouchable. Well, you're untouchable in terms of people not wanting to physically touch you, but that's, a different thing. You're not above the law. You are not as great and as fantastic and as privileged as a person you think you are. Regardless of how this goes, regardless of what happens, at the very, very, very least, you and Loverboy are going to take a monumentally massive financial hit over this whole thing. So there will be a repercussion, even if it's not what everybody, and I mean practically everybody, is crossing their fingers for. And I will be the first to admit, yes, I am salivating over the idea. I am positively gleeful at the thought of you being slapped on the wrist and being put in your place. Because quite frankly, it's been a long time coming.